Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Usually we go over Apple news, but we're branching out into some other hardware tech today. The Nintendo Switch was announced last week, and boy, is it a divisive device. See what I did there? We'll go over all the news on the hardware, potential launch prices and dates, and everything else you're going to need to know. So if you enjoy this channel, branching out into other tech news, please leave a comment and like the video, as it greatly helps the video reach a wider audience, and subscribe to the channel so we can reach 1,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, and now back to the Switch 2 news. The Nintendo Switch 2 has a large 7.9-inch built-in LCD screen that displays in full HD at 1080p while maintaining the same thickness as the original Switch, which had a 6.2-inch 720p display. And it comes with a new stand for tabletop play that has wider angles and more options even than the Switch OLED, which came out only just a few years ago. Creators that attended Nintendo's event in New York all said the new size and display were much better than the original Switch, which left much to be desired at 720p. With a bigger device comes bigger Joy-Cons, the Joy-Cons 2, which themselves might have received the biggest update out of the whole device. The original Joy-Cons were an amazing part of the original Switch and instantly allowed for two players to play when docked or in tabletop mode, but they were small and had too small of buttons for anyone with larger hands. The Joy-Cons 2 are redesigned with larger buttons that attach magnetically to the console. At first I was skeptical about the magnetic attachments, thinking it wouldn't be strong enough, but those doubts were quickly extinguished. The SL and SR button are made of metal, which is what the console attaches to with strong magnets, and there is a button that pushes the Joy-Cons off the device, but is strong enough to snap right back into place if not being pulled off. A feature literally no one asked for and will most likely never be used, except for maybe in 1 or 2 Mario Party minigames, is the Joy-Con now being used as a mouse. There is a sensor at the bottom that allows users to slide the controller over a surface to be able to move the cursor around. Nintendo showed off this feature in the new wheelchair basketball game and a mini golf, but didn't seem that easy to use even in the demo. It will also be able to be used on your jeans when sitting if you don't have a flat surface to use it on when playing. One last part about the Joy-Con 2 is the point of attaching it to the Switch 2. It is a really thin connector that, if broken, will render the entire Switch 2 useless unless in docked mode. So let's hope that this piece is sturdy and taking the Joy-Cons off at different angles doesn't snap them or have kids go in and break it off when on the dock. One easy solution I thought of is a small magnetic attachment to replace the Joy-Cons when on the dock to prevent anyone from hitting those little connectors, but time will tell if that accessory ever comes out. The screen, as mentioned before, is jumped up to 7.2-inch display and is now 1080p when in handheld mode. The Switch 2 gets a ton of processing power as well when docked. It now supports up to 4K resolution when docked to a TV, along with variable refresh rate up to 120 FPS, ensuring great visuals and smooth gameplay. I'm definitely excited to play Mario Kart World at 4K 120 for the first time, as this is going to be a huge difference from the original Mario Kart 8. Internal storage has been bumped up from a measly 64 gigs all the way up to 256 gigs. Personally, I would have liked to see 500 or even a terabyte of space, but Mario Kart is only supposed to take up 23.4 gigs and is the biggest launch title, so it seems the games aren't getting too much bigger into the 50 or 100 gig realm like we see on Xbox or PS5. You can always get a microSD Express card, and the Express is important there as normal microSD cards won't work. Lexar is coming out with a 256 gig option for $50, 500 gigs for $100, and 1 terabyte for $200, but let me know down in the comments what you think of these prices and if they're too high. When the Xbox Series X came out, there was a 1 terabyte external drive for $150, and I thought that was too high at the time, but these prices are even higher. Discord, Game Chat, is integrated right into the device with the new C button on the Joy-Con. It has video chat and a streaming feature which allows players to connect and communicate during gameplay. A microphone is on the device itself, but Nintendo showed off the ability to get rid of background noise to keep communication clear and new 3D audio when wearing headphones. All jokes about Discord rip-offs aside, this is the much needed feature for the Switch, and I can't wait to play Mario Kart or Mario Party with friends over voice chat. The game streaming seemed to be an extremely low frame rate, probably between 15 and 30 frames, so the quality might not be that great, and we'll have to see if the processing power dumbs down the frames of your device and the game you're actually playing. I don't see myself using the game streaming or video camera features, but it's still useful, and I can see why Nintendo created this to add a more group-friendly atmosphere, since Nintendo has always been about playing with friends at someone's house. For the video feature, Nintendo created a new camera that can track your face and display it over your stream or during certain games like Mario Party. It's an extra $80 for an extremely mediocre image quality based on Nintendo's stream, but let me know in the comments if you'll use this feature. Backwards compatibility is coming to the Switch 2 as well, and good news is that it's compatible with original Switch titles. The bad news is you're going to have to pay an extra $20 to $30 to get the new enhanced version of the game, which doesn't sit well with me at all. No other game consoles has ever made a player pay more money to play the game that they already own on the new console with updated specs. But unlike the Xbox Series X, the Nintendo Switch 2 will debut with an amazing lineup of games and accessories. Mario Kart World, an open-world racing game 14 years in the making, is priced at $80 digitally and $90 physically. That's a lot of money. Donkey Kong Bonanza, a brand new DK adventure game, has a price of $70, which is pretty standard for AAA titles today. The Dust Bloods and Hades 2, which are a highly anticipated sequel, will be a console exclusive as well. One of the biggest jokes of the whole video was Nintendo Welcome Tour, a game, a how-to, on the new features for the Switch 2, but unlike common sense would lead you to believe, Nintendo is making you pay for the manual to the console. If anyone ever has a question about how to use certain features, please just ask me instead of spending $20 on this. It's absolutely insane Nintendo is making anyone pay for a how-to on how to use your console. And now for release date and pricing. Nintendo has officially announced that the Switch 2 will launch on June 5th, 2025 with a suggested retail price of $250 in the United States. Pre-orders were originally scheduled to begin on April 9th. However, due to recent tariff implementations affecting production costs, pre-orders in the United States and Canada have been delayed as Nintendo assesses the financial impact. Despite these delays, the official launch date remains unchanged, and pre-orders on Nintendo's site just updated to begin invitations on May 8th. There's still no word yet on third-party retailer pre-orders such as Best Buy, GameStop, and Target, but I'll let you guys know in the top comment when we find out about that. In the UK, pre-orders went as planned and sold out quickly as expected, so be ready whenever the US and Canada pre-orders open if you live here. For May 8th, to pre-order on Nintendo's website, you must be a Nintendo account holder in the US and Canada and be at least 18 years of age. If you're eligible, an invitation email will be sent to the email address associated with your Nintendo account when it's your time to purchase. The invitation will be valid for 72 hours. Invitation emails will be prioritized on a first-come, first-served basis to registrants who have purchased a Nintendo Switch Online membership with a minimum of 12 months of paid membership and a minimum of 50 total hours of gameplay as of April 2nd, 2025. To sum things up, despite a lot of chatter about prices and certain features, the Switch 2 is shaping up to be an incredible addition to the gaming world, offering enhanced hardware, innovative features, and an exciting new lineup of games. While certain challenges such as recent tariffs may impact its rollout, the anticipation for this console remains high, and stay tuned for more updates as we approach the official launch date. Thank you so much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, please consider giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing for more gaming news and updates as we branch out into other tech besides Apple. Drop a comment below letting us know which features or games you're most excited for when the Nintendo Switch 2 finally comes out, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.